And then we were in the road, and I just saw this black car screeching, trying to screech to a halt.
So regular viewers remember the video I made recently with Tubes, where he talked quite candidly about his heart attack. It was very popular. As the time of recording, it's been viewed 19,000 times on YouTube. The trailer on Twitter was viewed 184,000 times so far, which is quite a lot. And it got in the press, in the Mail Online, the Mirror, the Sun. Very, very popular, and I think has done a lot of good. Because it was popular, it got quite a lot of views. Quite good for my channel, if I'm totally honest. I'd say that Tubes' heart attack has been excellent for my channel, to be totally honest. So I thought I'll go through my phone book and try and work out who else has had a horrific life experience, and then maybe I could use that for my advantage again, really to be one of those YouTubers that sort of milks another person's misery for it. So I was trying to think, who could it be? Then I remembered that Dan, who you may recognise from the explaining videos that we've done in the past. Dan was in a horrific horse and cart and car accident in Romania, and I thought we'd tell that story to you right now so you can enjoy his sadness. So Dan, set the scene for me.
Well, this happened, I think it was around 7 years ago. It was the occasion of my wife and I, it was our 5th wedding anniversary. We were in Romania. We had the wedding in Romania, which you went to, came to.
Yeah. She's Romanian, your wife?
She's Romanian, yep. So after 5 years, we said, why don't we go back, take some of the family back out there and sort of have a 5-year reunion sort of thing. For the last couple of days, we took my mum and my dad out to a place called Danesh, which is about an hour away from where the wedding was.
Is that the name they use for ISIS?
Yeah, that's Daesh.
Okay, carry on then.
Yeah. But it is an ISIS stronghold.
Right, fine, good, okay. So anyway, yeah.
So Danesh. Very picturesque town called Sigishwara. It's a medieval town. Mm-hmm. Prince Charles is a big fan of it. He's got a lot of land around there.
Can we kind of cut to the bit where you got smashed by a car?
So we decided we were staying in a lovely hotel that sort of had a very sort of a tiny zoo with peacocks.
What, in the hotel?
Yeah, not in the hotel, but in the grounds. And it had like llamas and alpacas, sort of petting zoo type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit weird.
Is that a regular thing in Romanian hotels?
No, I don't think so. No. Yeah. And they had horses and they had carts. And one of the things that they offered at the hotel was a horse and cart ride.
Had you ever had a horse and cart ride at this stage before?
Yeah, I have. I've had a horse and cart ride in Morocco.
Okay.
Probably one or two others.
So you had no worries going into this horse and cart ride about possible risks?
Why would you? Normally a horse and cart ride, if anyone's ever been on one, it's quite a sedate experience, isn't it? It's a nice stroll through a street or country lane or whatever.
Yeah, like in New York Central Park they have them, don't they?
Exactly.
Yeah. Anyway.
Very much so. So, so we booked this horse and cart ride for my mum, my dad, and me and my wife, Carmen. And so in the morning, it's an absolutely beautiful, hot day, and totally clear skies. And the route that it takes, it would come out through, it had quite a long drive, this hotel, out down the drive, then went about maybe 200 metres down quite a busy road, and then turned right onto a country track, wasn't really a road, and then you'd got there for about 20 minutes, and then they had another hotel which was more remote, and we just sort of went there and had a cold drink, looked at the countryside, and then came back.
Mm-hmm.
That's the plan. So on the way back, it was really hot. That's the thing that really sticks in my mind. And the horse started going faster. And
did anything happen that made it go fast? Or was it startled or anything?
Well, this was the thing. So the way the carriage was laid out, me and Carmen had our backs to the driver, and my mum and my dad could sort of see him, but you can only obviously see his back. And so we just thought, oh, he's fine, because he'd been going very slowly actually to get there. And we thought, oh, this is actually quite nice. There was a bit of a breeze going. And there's actually, and then he sort of going faster and faster. And there's actually a picture of my dad, which I'll try and get for you, where he sort of, in a really old-fashioned way, had taken his cap off and started like waving it in the air because it was really exciting because we were going quite fast in this horse and cart ride.
Yeah.
Sort of going quite fast for quite a long time, and starting to remember that at the end of this track is a really quite busy, very straight road. It's not a motorway because there's only, like an A road here, basically. So people would be going along at a good 60 miles an hour.
Right.
And you suddenly sort of clicked in your head, like, oh, we don't seem to be slowing down, and you look behind and you can see you're getting closer to the road. You think, well, you should probably start to slow down now. And it's at that point I turned around and looked at the driver and realised that he was standing up and yanking for all his might, all he could possibly do to try and get this horse to stop, and nothing was happening. Like, the horse completely ignored him. And then you're in a really weird situation, because at that point we're probably no more than about between 50 and 100 metres from that road. So, anyone who's had a sort of a car accident or a bad experience knows that an incredible amount can go through your head. I mean, I think Tube said that. Incredible amount can go through your head in literally 1 or 2 seconds. An incredible amount of thought processing. And you're sitting there thinking, well, he's going to stop because we're going to get to that main road and nothing that horrific is going to happen to us because we're just out for a nice cart ride. So you're thinking, it's going to be okay, it's going to be okay. And then suddenly it really wasn't stopping. And then I can remember thinking, shall I jump out? Because we were getting that close to the road, and you're just going, but you're just going too fast, and that could be worse. And then I thought, well, over the other side, I started thinking, well, what's at the other side of the road? And it was crops. And I thought, well, maybe if we're lucky and it just runs across, we'll just get into that big field, and it'll be harder for it to run.
Slow down.
And it'll slow down. So all of that's going through your head in a matter of seconds. And then as we came up to the road, and I don't even think we were talking. I don't think we said anything to each other. I don't even think we had time. As we came up to the road, I looked to my left because thinking, because you're used to cars being on the left, you're thinking, is there anything coming on that side? And I looked, and the road was empty. I thought, oh, wow, we're going to get really lucky. And then I looked the other side, and I'd completely forgotten that Romanians drive on the other side of the road. And then we were in the road, and I just saw this black car screeching, trying to screech to a halt. People talk about out-of-body experiences, don't they?
Yeah.
And the weird thing is that I don't remember having an out-of-body experience, but when I remember the moment just before impact, my memory isn't of seeing that black car coming towards me. My memory is like a film. So I'm actually away from the car, and I'm looking down on both things. And I'm looking at myself half standing up in the cart, and then the car hitting. But then there's nothing.
Do you think that maybe you're dead? Is that
it could?
It could be a big spoiler alert, Sixth Sense.
Well, every now and again, I think, is it possible that I'm in a coma? I've been in a coma for years and years and years, and I've dreamt the last 10 years of my life.
It does seem a bit weird that I've started making YouTube videos.
Yeah, that's pretty meta, isn't it?
Maybe they've changed your medication.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
So the point of impact, I think the best way to describe it is, you've seen a film and they're in a theatre or something, and someone gets one of those big kind of levers and just goes choom, and all the lights just go vroom, and everything just goes black. That's exactly how it felt. I don't remember the car hitting. I don't remember. All I remember is the car screeching and me thinking it's going to hit us, and then
so you were instantly knocked out.
And then exactly. I mean, that's all I can assume. Basically, everything just went black. And so we still don't really know what happened, because it ploughed into us at a really high speed. The carriage that we were in was basically splintered. The car was a complete write-off. Somehow, all four of us were not too bad. I mean, we were injured, but not too badly injured. I had a very big hematoma and a nasty gash on my back.
What's a hematoma?
Hematoma is kind of like I think it's kind of sort of internal bruising type thing.
Right, okay.
And basically, I just had it's like having half a football on my back. It just swelled up with fluid. My mum had one of those on her thigh, and that was pretty much all my mum got. My dad looked absolutely terrible because he got kind of injuries on his face, and he cracked a rib. But apart from that, he looked really bad, but actually wasn't too bad. And my wife Carmen, she broke her foot, and she also had a hematoma in her head, so she was actually the most injured. So the only thing that I can think of is that basically it hit us, and rather than us feeling the impact of the car, it basically threw us out, and all our injuries occurred by landing on the asphalt.
Right.
I think. So I came round and I started.
Do you remember any time passing while things were black?
No.
Or was it like
It's literally, I can see the car. It's black. Then I wake up and I'm on the face down on the ground like this. And then I started shouting to Carmen, "Is she okay?" And she answered. And they all say that I was really screaming in pain, but I might have been. But all I can remember is shouting to see if the other three were all right. I remember my dad sitting up and then kind of leaning back on my head. My dad's quite a big man. I was going, "Dad, you're leaning on my head," and I was convinced that I'd broken my arm because that was the thing that hurt really weirdly. So I was convinced that my arm was broken. And there was loads of blood in my hand, and I didn't really know where that came from. I think it was from my own head. And then, so basically all the traffic had stopped, and this amazing Romanian went to the back of their boot and got a massive beer umbrella out and was holding it above us because it was so hot. And it was just oh God, it was so nice.
So you say beer then?
Yeah, I just gave us a beer, yeah. And they were kind of putting water. I remember one of them, I remember them talking, and one of them was trying to put water on me, and it went in my ear, and I heard one of them telling off the other person. They must have been going, "Oh, it's got in his ear, you idiot," or something like that.
Do you speak Romanian?
A tiny bit, but that's all I could think that they were saying. And anyway, eventually ambulances came and took us away. Carmen then had to be airlifted to another hospital because they didn't realise that she'd hit her head. She started throwing up at the first hospital, and that's indicative of a head injury. So she got airlifted there.
What was a Romanian hospital like?
Yeah, so the first one we went to was just a room basically, and they weren't really prepared for it, and so they transferred us back to the town where we got married.
Right.
And
that's quite romantic.
Yeah, it's quite nice. Yeah, and that room was pretty grim. I mean, we were put in there. I was put in with, I think there was about 10 very old men in there. Sort of, some of them seemed to be waiting to die. And in Romania, they have a big thing about drafts. Like, drafts are not playing drafts, like drafts coming through doors and windows.
Well, they're not into them, or they like them?
They just do not like them ever. You can never have a draft. That's the cause of all ills in the world. So we're put in this big room, and it was up at 100 degrees in there, and they would not, the men in there would not have the window open because of the draft.
Right.
The terrible draft of a 30-degree summer coming in. And every now and again, one of the nurses would come in and open it, and then would open the door, and there'd be this lovely breeze going through. And then one of them would get up and close the door or close the window.
So they didn't die?
Yeah. And I was just sitting, this is not an attractive thought. I was sitting there in my pants, sort of dabbing myself with wet wipes because it was so hot. It's really grim. And I was on the bed next to me was my dad, and on the other side was a guy who was in really bad shape. And I was on a kind of a drip to to rehydrate.
Right.
And this guy kept, and it was on a metal stand, quite old-fashioned metal stand. And this guy, every now and again, would start going, "Rah, rah, rah," and grab it, and he'd start trying to pull it. And this thing's attached to my arm. And I've got like something, in my arm there, and he's trying to yank it away. And I'm going, "Stop doing that!" And I can't really move because my back is completely messed up. I can't walk or anything at this point. I can't get out of bed. All I can do is like lean over to pee into this plastic bottle they gave me. And which I'm doing all the time because this thing's just putting liquid in me all the time. So I was literally doing that, every half an hour or something. This guy going, and I've got visions of this thing being yanked out of my arm, just blood kind of spurting out. And then my dad said, "There's a button you can press to call the nurse," and I can't get to it because I'm too injured. And my dad can get out of bed. He said, "Oh, should I press it?" I'm like, "Yes, press it, please," before he pulls it out.
I know that a lot of people have heard this and worried about your plight and everything, but how's the horse?
A lot of people ask about the horse.
Yeah. It's kind of my first question when you tell me it happened.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was nice.
Do you know the horse's name? Do you know anything
I think
about
it was Stella. It was a white horse called Stella. Mm-hmm. Carmen went back a couple of years later. It was still there.
It was alive.
It was alive. And I went back 2 years ago and saw Stella still alive.
Did you instantly know that Stella was alive, or did you see Stella after the accident?
My memory of lying on the ground is of Stella, kind of in that field that I mentioned on the other side of the road, just sort of grazing. And in my head, I felt like I could see blood on her sort of hind legs and stuff.
Right.
So I did wonder how injured she was, but I actually not 100% sure whether that was in my mind, or I can't remember. I just thought that's what I saw. I honestly don't know.
Well, thank you for sharing, Dan. It's been very enjoyable, and I'm very glad to hear that Stella's all right.
Yeah,
Fantastic. Yeah. Dan has a book out at the minute. Dan's an author, as regular readers will be aware. And Joe, I'm going to go get the book, and you have until I get back with the book to plug the book.
Okay. So this is only really a book that you will enjoy, probably if you like football. It's called Booked: The Gospel According to Our Football Heroes. It's written by me and my good friend John Smith. We read 130 footballer autobiographies, and then we condensed it all down. We took all the best bits, the worst bits, the weirdest bits, and put them all in one book. So, if there are players, if you support Leeds or Manchester City, you're never going to read any Man United autobiographies. I mean, well, most of us won't anyway. But what you can do is you can just read this and you just pick out the best bits that all the Man United players have written about, the bits that will actually be interesting. And you won't have to read all the stuff about how they won loads of trophies. So that's the book. It's really, I think it's really funny. It's really enjoyable. It's a great
Thanks,
Christmas
Dan.
gift.
Sorry, I couldn't find it first. I had to go and get it. Here it is. This is Booked.
Yep.
The Gospel.
Yep.
Available at many book places.
Yeah.
And
you found it in Waterstones, didn't you?
Yeah. And more expensive than the Bible, which is a real sign of quality.
Expensive. They've just lowered the price a bit on Amazon, actually.
Okay. Cool. I'll put a link below, probably.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
Get the affiliate earnings.
Yeah. Exactly.